Thursday. We're on Thursday. All right, here. Oh, error. Try again. It must be the coffee thing.
Live.
Are we live? Have we anybody?
Yes.
Kesty, can you go on Facebook, see if we're live?
Yep. We are.
Oh, we are. Okay. Well, that's awkward. All right. So welcome to Win the Day live stream, where apparently we're live. Thank you for coming here. This is where we talk to realtors about how to win the day as a real estate salesperson. Today, I want to talk about results, lead gen. We talk about it from time to time, but I want to talk about results. The reason why, I had a guy say to me yesterday, even, he said, I'm not getting anywhere. I'm talking to people. Nobody's doing nothing anywhere, right? You can feel that way. I felt that way before, right? You talk to a lot of people, nobody's doing anything. And there's certainly fewer people doing things right now than there has been maybe in 2021, 2020. But there are things you can do to get better results. So I asked him, first of all, I didn't ask him, I told him. I told him, first of all, here's the thing. You're reaching out to people that are not expecting your call. You don't have an appointment. You're randomly reaching out to people that are not expecting your call, and you're surprised that they're not totally into it. It's a hard ask, right? So just give some grace to these people. And then I asked him, are you getting through to people? He said, yeah, I got 35 contacts yesterday.
Nice.
Okay, that's good. That's real good.
Yeah.
35 contacts. Anybody who does this knows 35 is good. But he didn't get any results from it. And so I said, well, hold on. Let me ask you. So you got through to 35 people. Is it fair to say then that at least 35 people have now registered your name at somewhere across their mindscape that you could be somebody that could help them buy or sell real estate? Is that possible? He said, well, yeah, but how's that going to help me right now? All right, fair enough. So we're interrupting people, so give them some grace. You did get through to 35 people that now at least recognize your name for a split second. That's something. Let me ask you this. Are you following the script? And I knew right away. I could see in his face like, oh, great, here we go. And he said, yes. I said 100% of the time. Yeah, not so much, right? I like to put my own thing on it, he says, right? I got my own personality, and some of these questions, I don't know. And I said, okay, good. I get that. Same question or conversation I had with my coach 20 years ago. And I said the same thing to him. I'm like, okay, good. You're using your script. I like it. This hybrid of what you got going here. How many homes have you sold using your script? He could see it, right? His face betrayed him instantly. And he's like, yeah, all right. Not very many. Right. And then how many homes you think the scripts that we use, the folks that honed those, took the edge off and did everything, how many homes do you think those things are selling? Thousands. Okay. So you should probably follow the script, right? Mm-hmm. I had on my computer for the longest time, slow down and follow the script. Because somebody would say hello or answer the door or whatever, I'd get excited and start peeing on my leg like a dog, right? And I'd just start talking really, really fast and about, I'm not even sure what I would talk about sometimes. And that didn't go great either. And then, so he kind of resigned to the fact that, okay, fine. I'm having a little bit of success, not the success I want, but some success. And I'm not following the script. I can fix that. That's an easy fix. I'll follow the darn script. And then I said, okay, good. Here's the other thing that I found works pretty good for me. When things aren't going great, I find that when they're not going great, I'm in a robot type of mode where I'm doing a survey or I'm doing an interrogation, and it comes across as that monotone, it's just one-dimensional, it's boring, all that stuff. So I said, be a little bit conversational. And the way you be conversational is like this. Well, yeah, you listen to what they say. You ask them a question. If you were to sell, where would you go next? Just curious. Okay. Well, I'm not selling, but if I did, I'd move back to Boston. All right. Now here's where you win. Oh, you would move back to Boston. That's interesting. When would you do that? So they tell you they're going to move back. They're not selling, but they are going to move back to Boston if they do. Okay, great. When you say, oh, you would go back to Boston, it proves to them that you're engaged. You're listening. You care. And now you have a conversation, not a questionnaire. Okay. That's important. Then the second thing you do is you just have a conversation. It's ebb and flow. It's not blah, 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 next, blah, 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 next. It's a conversation. And it could sound something like, hi, it's John Moran, Keller Williams Realty's at the beach team down here in Destin. How are you this morning? Cool. I'm great. Thanks for asking. Hey, curious. We just sold another house down here. I don't know if you saw it or not, but it was a 3-bedroom, 3-bath right around the corner at 123 Main Street. Did you see that? Oh, no. Yeah. Well, it's sold for $400,000. And here's the thing. I know when one sells, a couple more getting ready to come on the market. I was just curious. When do you plan on moving? Oh, okay. Never. But if you did move, where would you go next? Oh, you go to Boston. Nice. I don't know much about Boston, but I bet it's awesome. When would you want to go to Boston? Okay. That's the conversation, right? That's the script, but it's conversational. And I find that I get conversations. And when I have conversations on script, not, oh, I love Boston. The Red Sox are my favorite team. Remember when Jim Rice hit 299 that one year and he faced blah, blah, blah. No. No. You're going to move to Boston. Nice. That's interesting. I don't know much about Boston, but I'm excited for you. When would that be? Now I'm right back on it. You feel me on this? So be conversational, because I think what happens is we get contact-itis and we just want to make a check on a, X out a number and say, oh, I got 35 contacts. How many conversations? 35. Really? How many of those 35 thought they had a conversation? Oh, 2. All right. And I'm not saying waste your time, because you got to get through them too. Do not get wound up in conversing about non-script stuff. Stay on script. Okay. So in some, you're interrupting people. When you're doing lead gen, you're talking to somebody that doesn't have an appointment. So be prepared for somebody not to be totally fired up that you're interrupting them. All right. 2, when you do talk to them, at least you're flying your name and your voice at them. Okay. They at least have some temporary, probably, but some idea you're out there. Follow the script. 100% of the time, follow the script and be conversational. I bet your results are going to get better. I absolutely would bet Julie's life on it. And absolutely.
My brother just bet something on me too. So
absolutely. So yeah, that's what I got. Destiny, you have any thoughts on that?
I think you're exactly right. One of the things I learned early on.
We should get married.
Is changing my mindset towards being on. I use a dialer system when I do my lead gen, and changing the mindset to, I'm not always going to get a lead. It's a long shot, but even if I only got 2 or 3 really good warm leads that week, that's great. That's a win. And so changing the mindset to every day is not going to be great. Some days I'm not going to get anything. It's going to suck. But it's like you said, it's planting that seed. Hey, I'm Destiny Powell with Interscope Realty. And then knowing I'm going to call this list back again next quarter. And so my name is going to start being ingrained in these people. They'll refer me to people if they don't have a need at this time. And then I also love the question. I've actually started using that in my script. Where would you go next? That opens them up to feeling like they've got somebody interested in them on the phone. And they'll, a lot of times, even yesterday, I had 3 different people say, oh, well, we're military, so we'll probably leave in 2 to 3 years. Oh, great. Well, thank you for your service. I'd like to stay in touch with you and stay on top of your real estate needs. Things may change for them. They may get orders within the year. You never know. So it opens up more, and you get to know the person better by asking that simple question.
Awesome. And Julie, you do a lot of referral work. It's the same thing there where you're doing lead gen with referrals, because you don't have an appointment necessarily. Is that fair?
It's fair. And the thing is I would say whenever you're talking to anybody, you have to have a plan. So memorizing scripts, understanding that they work, learning them so that you know them forward and backward. It's not just, I must stay on the script exactly like this. It's not that. It's knowing how to come back to it when you have a goal for every interaction, whether it's face-to-face or voice-to-voice. And you've got to remember your goal is an appointment. Mm-hmm. So, no matter what's going on.
You are not closing any deals on a cold call.
Right. Yeah. Your goal is an appointment. So whether it's an open house or whether it's a cold call or whether it's an incoming call, whether it's a question, whether it's someone at the grocery store, anyone interacting, asking questions about real estate, your goal is an appointment. So if you can memorize the scripts, curious, where would you go next? If you were to move, where would you go to? If you can remember some of these things, and you don't remember them by accident, you practice and practice and practice, because you can't have a conversation with someone that's engaging if you don't stop and listen. And you must listen. I've watched so many agents try to follow a script, and they're so focused on the script that the person is talking on the other end of the phone, and they're actually telling them something, and they're like, that's great, that's great. And then they say their next thing, and I'm like, let me interrupt here. They just said that they want to move here rather than there, and you're saying the next thing in the script instead of hearing what they said. You've got to have the conversation with the scripts memorized, so you can come back to your goal of getting to that appointment. But that's where it's so important to memorize the scripts.
And we're going to talk about it on the 19th, right? Workshop Wednesday, scripts.
Yeah.
We'll role play them. If you guys have a script you want to role play, send it over. I'll role play it with you. And
email it. Tell us what you want to talk
get
about.
you worked out. So
say, I want to role play, and we'll role play with you.
One thing I think I've been able to develop that I see a lot of the younger or folks who maybe not doing as much have not developed, and it's a skill, is I actually care about what they're doing. I'm very interested in what they're doing, and I'm highly curious about what they're doing. Now, it's not a fake it till you make it thing. I'm not that guy. The reason why I care and I'm curious and I'm interested is the people I talk to are doing, participating, playing in at what I want to do. So I'm already curious, right? I'm talking to folks that own vacation rental properties as investment properties generally, second, third, fourth homes, those type of things, using it as a wealth building type of experience. So I've been able to build my career around a niche that I'm curious, interested, and excited about. So it's really easy for me to be that. So I harp on here, if you're going to get into real estate, figure out who you are, what you like, and then go hang out with the people who are like you. It'll make it a lot easier to be all that stuff. And when you're curious, you become knowledgeable because you go out and learn stuff. Now you know stuff. And then when you know stuff, you get confidence. And you start telling people, and they go, oh, didn't know that. Well, it's why people like you work with people like me, right? And the only reason why you know is because 2 minutes earlier, you talked to somebody who told you, right?
Right.
That's just the game. And you were curious enough to ask, interested enough to ask, wanted to know. So you asked. And over time, you become this repository of a lot of good stuff.
And so that would be one of the things I would say is oftentimes, especially when you're new to real estate, you're like, well, I don't know. I don't know what I'm passionate about. I don't know what my niche is. I don't know where I want to go. I don't know. So that's where you're curious in every conversation, finding out about people, finding out about their needs. And when you start to notice a pattern of interest of your own, when you're working with people, pay attention to where you get excited. Write it down. And you'll find that if you can focus on that more in terms of your learning and knowledge and professionalism and becoming an expert, then every time you have a conversation with anyone who can add to that expertise, you're going to have better, deeper questions, and you'll grow and you'll discover that passion that you have. So just notice when you get excited when you're talking about certain topics, but be curious always. Just be curious, ask questions, and care about what people say. When they say stuff, then you're going to have more questions because you're interested in what they have to say.
100%. And then it gets a little bit more fun. Like I was on the phone all day yesterday, and it was the first time in a long time. I went home last night just dragging, like, oh, because it wears you out.
Yeah.
It just does. Lead gen wears you out.
It does.
But it was really fun. I had some pretty good results. It was fun. I learned a lot. I introduced myself to some folks and learned their story, and it was really fun for me. So what a gift that is to be able to do lead gen and end up saying, you know what, that was really fun.
And back to
Um,
Destiny's point early on, here's the thing, you might have 2 or 3 great leads in a week. Well, if you convert 2 or 3 great leads in a week to appointments,
Mm-hmm.
and those 2 or 3 great leads in a week turn into 3 appointments, and 3 appointments turn into 1 closing, that's 1 closing a week.
yeah. Yeah.
That's a lot of money. That's a great life.
Yeah.
Right. I like to compare lead gen to gardening. I had a garden a couple of years ago, but it's planting those seeds, and then you have to water those seeds and watch them grow. And some things.
Wait a minute. You had a garden a couple of years ago? Where's this garden now?
Well, see, I have a fear of toads, and toads thought that they could infiltrate my garden, so that stopped. But some things grow faster than others, but you still have to make sure you've got the right soil, the right sunlight, the water is and everything is on point for these seeds to grow and become fruitful. And it's the same thing when you're taking a lead, you've got to water that lead and help it grow. And you've got to get to know these people. If you're expecting them to give you their business, you've got to gain that trust with them first.
You also have to weed the garden. You got to get rid of the deletes so that they don't waste your time. And
you want better results? Give yourself a little grace. Okay. The folks are not expecting your interruption. So give yourself some grace.
Mm-hmm.
Follow the script. But John, you don't understand. I do understand. Believe me, I understand perfectly. Follow the script. Yeah. You don't understand. And be conversational. All right. And that's by being curious, by caring. Repeat back the last 3 words or something like that they say when you ask a question that shows you are engaged. You'll get better results, I promise. And we'll talk about this more on the 19th, which is 2 weeks from today. Mm-hmm. Is that true? I think it is. And then Destiny next week is talking. What are you talking about, Destiny? Tell us a little story.
How to be a new agent, how to be successful as a new agent, and what not to do. The things that I've learned over the past 2 years of being a new agent that have helped me be successful. I've learned what not to do and those things that are really important to do.
Julie, you're a new agent.
Yeah. Things I wish I knew.
Julie was a new agent when George Bush was president.
Oh.
I don't
know. Maybe that's true. I don't know. What Clinton? Maybe Clinton.
I have to look. I have to match up the calendar.
Oh my Lord!
It's that long ago.
Right? Yeah, but it's weird because I'll be honest. I've been doing this a minute, and I often forget what it was like back when I started. And so somebody will ask me a question, and be like, "Really?" Mm-hmm. And then I think, "Oh, well, really? Fair enough."
Right? You remember, but you don't remember, and then sometimes you're like, "Oh yeah, I forgot that is hard. That was a challenge."
Yeah.
I wish I wouldn't have done this. I wish I would have known that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why it's really great for everybody to be here next Wednesday to hear what Destiny, she's fresh off of, here's what I wish I knew. Here's what I wish someone would have told me. Here's what I learned. Here's what I'm doing now that I learned. And it's fresh in this market happening now. It's not old people during the Bush era telling you what to do.
Yeah,
who knows?
All right. Very good. So that's what's coming on. Destiny's going to be on here next Wednesday, Workshop Wednesday. And then I'll be on the one after that doing role play with scripts. So if you want to role play, let me know. I'll role play with you and help you out. What else? Anything else?
For Destiny on what would you do if you were me as a new agent? Send us those questions.
Absolutely.
Yep. Perfect. Anything else, Destiny? Last words?
No last words. Just get in there and legion.
Perfect. Julie?
Send us your questions on being new in scripts and be curious.
Be curious.
Awesome. All right, people. What I would tell you if you want better results, okay, follow the script 100% of the time. Now, you can put your own personality in it, no doubt, but follow the script. Don't change the words, change your tonality, change your cadence, change whatever that way. If you want to sing it, go for it. But follow the script and then be curious, be interested. People react to people who are curious and interested in them, not just, they're trying to get a check mark on their thing or they just want my business. If you can demonstrate you're curious about what they're doing, they'll respond. Promise. All right.
I'm going to add one last thing. Sorry.
Nope. All right.
No, Julie always talks about being okay with not knowing the answer. And I think that's one of the biggest fears for newer agents when they're getting into Legion is what if they ask a question I don't know the answer to? It's okay to say, I don't know. Let me get back to you. Or like she says, what about that's important to you? So it's okay to not have all the answers when you're Legioning.
Go for the no, right, Julie?
Makes you human. Makes you human.
Love it. All right. I'm going to be human as I make some calls today. I'll see y'all. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.